All right, I'm finally doing it. I just got in from the gym and I just said, okay, turn on the computer. Sorry, it's morning. It's 5:45, or probably closer to 6 now. Put on the ring light and the phone and let's do this. I have highlighted stuff because if I don't do it now, it's not going to happen. I had, you saw the last video today? And I have more highlighted stuff. I don't think I'm going to talk about all of it, but at least it's going to be a start. This is going to be in several parts because the nightmares I had are going to make me procrastinate more and more and more. If I do this in parts and then glue them together, I don't have enough room on my phone. My Dropbox is full with other things. And when I last checked, I haven't been able to get the files off the phone using a cable. This is the iPhone 11, so there's still a cable attachment. But, so, I'm complicating everything. It's like, that will take too much time and then I'll end up doing nothing. So that's what I'm trying to avoid, and I'll get better as I do this and faster. I mean, I can do it, it'll take too long and then I'll eventually stop, right? So, I'm gonna take this off because I'm changing. I'm gonna put on a shirt, this is my gym shirt. Put some deodorant on. All right, so I'm gonna put this in a playlist. That's not stressful for me. I'm gonna eventually do a thumbnail for this. I mean, it's just gonna be a simple thumbnail. Those I can do well. I don't need to do it now. Once it's uploaded, I can do the thumbnail. So that doesn't make me procrastinate. It's just the setup of the video because I'm doing too many things now, and I just want to keep it a method that is quick. And I don't want to rehearse. But I had things written down and highlighted because that when I first got told that I can do this, that I should do this, the ideas came in and then I just stopped because then the thought came out was gone. So you excuse me if I do something at the same time. First of all, to save time because I have to leave. But also because these are memories that I've long got rid of, and I didn't want to revisit them. But I have to at least put some words into it. Someone asked for it, and I think it's a good thing to do, anyways. So, how did I get diagnosed with borderline personality disorder? Well, I do all this in French. French is not my first language, but I live where everything is in French, and I think more after a few years, I realized it's not the complete disorder. It's probably a lot of strong traits. You know what I mean? I mean, to be borderline personality, the complete disorder, I think you have to qualify for 5 out of 9 things. I don't remember what they are. I mean, they consist of emotional dysregulation, feeling suicidal ideation, I guess, no sense of self, emptiness, maybe cutting, which stuff like that. So, the memories okay. Let's just get this out of the way. I grew up in a violent household. That's all I know. My father and I think I mentioned it briefly in a video that my father most probably had that too, borderline, because he experienced trauma in the Holocaust. He was an angry person. He reminded me of Hitler, like a little effeminate guy who wanted to kill people. But my father is Jewish. was. So was Hitler. Part Jewish. But anyways. And most probably gay. But who knows? Same thing with my dad. Most probably gay. Effeminate, at least. So, not saying that all effeminate guys are gay. Of course not. So, it was very violent. I'm just going to try to recall memories. And if I recall others, I'll probably say them. And then I'll note them so I'll know where I can go, continue from there. The furthest memory I remember, and they're getting more and more vague, but I know my father broke my mother's arm. I remember being, well, I no longer remember it, but these are the memories that I've visited. Still in the crib, like very, very small, and the violence. I remember, I had remembered that towards my mother. I don't think he was violent towards me at a baby age. I remember he used to say I was very hyperactive, and I remember him showing, he took pictures of me where I was dancing around, moving around all the time. That's probably why, most probably I have ADHD. He kept drilling into my head that I was hyperactive. But I never got diagnosed for that. So that's that. So the first part of violence I remember is breaking my mother's arm. I don't remember how. But that was what I had remembered. And I had repeated in my head a while, but I haven't thought about it for a long time. I know my parents slept in separate rooms forever. I've never seen them sleep together in the same room. That's probably why I think there's gayness involved, or I don't know what that relationship was. But that was normal for me, to not be close to anybody. So that's why maybe some of it's genetic. A lot of the stuff I've learned just because that's how I grew up. My parents married, when they died, when my mother died, and then I found out more things about their relationship. Apparently it was common law, it wasn't marriage. Okay, not that I know what that, I think it's just you live together that you still get the same rights, I don't know. But it was at an old age. And my father was 49. In all reality, he was 2 years younger. Because of the Holocaust, he lied about his age so he can go. He was very violent. Then he wanted to fight in the army. And something about going to Siberia and stuff. And sometimes he told stories about trying to be like his uncle. I don't know. Because he didn't speak English that well. And I didn't give a fuck because he was a piece of shit. Let's just put it that way. Walking dead. I always thought of my parents as walking dead, in the inside. But you kind of take after your parents, so there you go. Have to work on that. So, my mother had a stroke when she had me. My mother was diabetic, and she apparently had a stroke when she had me. I was cesarean. So the reason I'm saying that is because my mother had the mentality I always thought of a 6-year-old. She was fucked up, in my opinion. all of them, both of them isolated, and my father isolated me from having friends. So I didn't learn how to socialize well, you know. I think there were 2 or 3 times that people got invited to my place, and then they didn't, for whatever reason that my father didn't like them. You know. Well, I remember once a couple people from elementary school, Bob and Rhonda. Those are their real first names. I won't say their last name. I don't know what's become of them. But Rhonda took a crap in my place, and it smelled up the place, and my father was livid and did not let them come again. But I didn't have any friends at school anyways. Well, I guess they were, I don't know. They were what I can get, I guess. I remember having a bar mitzvah, and this I really remember. I didn't have any friends. I think I had maybe 1 or 2, if you want to call them friends. But I had to invite teachers because I didn't have anyone else to come. You know? And my father kept threatening to not let me have a bar mitzvah. So it was always control, always threats of either violence. Well, no, there was violence. I'll tell about the black eyes. Or just threats of taking away things, or, you know, because he overly, it's a type of childhood where I was spoiled with things. My father worked in a flea market, and it's not what he wanted to do. He wanted to be a Hebrew teacher. Yeah. He wanted me to be a doctor, of course, all that crap. Parents, immigrant parents. Well, my father's an immigrant. My mother's from here. Not here, but from the West. North America. As far as I remember. As far as I know. So, now I lost my train of thought. Let's see. Violence, father, immigrant, wanted me to be a doctor, whatever. No friends, teachers as friends, threatening to take away things. Yes, being spoiled. He worked in the flea markets. It wasn't what he wanted to do. That's typical. Yeah, so I'll stop there at that. So, I was abused physically. Like, I remember grade 2. This is really bad. And it always stuck with me for a long time. On several occasions, my father would throw me onto the couch, like literally throw me. Probably punching too, but I think it's because of the throwing on the couch. Maybe the punching, which I don't remember the punching at those particular instances, but I remember having a black eye, and I remember having another one on the other side. I'm not sure if I had 2 at the same time. And I went to school, and I remember this teacher. Her name was Mrs. Cohen. She was a mean teacher, taking away people's things, and she was really terrible with that. She took away scissors of mine and never gave them back. That had like elephant-shaped scissors, you know what I mean? But I remember her saying, "You were a bad boy, weren't you?" Right? So I'm getting beat up with black eyes. I'm in elementary school, and it's my fault. And it's being validated by a fat cow of a teacher, right? So that's most probably part of my self-esteem building, you know? I'm just going to check things off as I say them. I remember not being able to have friends, or me shutting up in school when I always used to think I was always very reserved, and then when I did talk, I got the impression that I was rejected. No one liked my personality talking. I'd be kind of clownish and goofy and flighty. And no one liked that, and it got what I perceived as rejection, which is part of borderline, you know, a perceived or real rejection. Laughing, you know what I mean? And so that shut me up and isolated me further from people. A couple other times like that too, maybe even once in university. So it happened several times throughout my life. Trying to speak my mind and then something that I perceived as a rejection, you know. Okay, there's the black eyes. Well, my father would always, like, when he get angry, the first thing he would do was throw punches in the face. I remember that. But the black eyes I remember from being thrown over a couch on a couple occasions. And then he would say, it was me. Like he would gaslight me, you know, because he's a small, frail guy. I was also, until, let's say, 13. Puberty hit. My mother was a big woman. So he got away with, I'll have to leave this to the next video. Whole cycle of calling the police, playing victim. Let me write that down. My hands are a little greased up from my hair, but I'm going to write that down so I remember to talk about it. Let me just wash my hands. It'd be nice if I edited this, right? Take off all these little spaces, but no, not going to do it. So I'm just going to write here, get a new page in the journal. It was page 22. Okay. And right here, this goes on to page 27. So I'm cross-noting things or linking, threading. 27, that's where the rest of these notes are. And then I'm going to highlight them. Let me just get the highlighter. So I can keep track of everything for the future when I talk about this more. So I remember another specific incident. where I would always have to go to the corner store. He would give me $1, and I would go buy the Forward newspaper. It was Yiddish newspaper. And one time, I lost $1. And then, of course, I got punched in the face, got beat up for that. It was for many things, simple things like that, that I would get beat up for. I remember in school, I think this was grade 5 or grade 6, I was playing, with gender. I mean, I liked long nails, long hair. At the time, I thought I wanted to be a woman. I was kind of like that. Dressed up as Wonder Woman. Oh, I should write that down too. Okay. And dressed up as Wonder Woman. Oh. See, the funny thing is, my father had the gender roles opposite. It was my father that was cooking, cleaning, had effeminate mannerisms. He helped my mother sew my Wonder Woman costume. He would buy me Barbie dolls. So I was getting confused about a lot of things. But anyways, oh yeah. So I'll get to that in another video. But at school there was a guy, I didn't know I was gay, but there was a guy I thought was cute as I look at it now. And he swarmed me with a bunch of friends at a grocery store, at a convenience store, and wouldn't let me leave. Trying to threaten me, whatever. Threaten of bodily harm, which I was already getting at home. But I had grown nails, and I had already grown violent at home. I was starting to rebel against my father especially. I would say Sieg Heil all the time, Heil Hitler, make Hitler jokes, references all the time, that he should burn, well, not those exact words, that he should die, should have fucking died in the Holocaust, all that crap. I already had a lot of anger then, as puberty was kicking in also, and hence the gym also, to get myself bigger and to defend myself and get violent on my own. Mind you, all this violence, no one outside knew. Well, they knew my father was an idiot, a freak. Like if someone went on his lawn, he would get very angry. But they didn't know about any of the violence behind closed doors. Yeah. So anyways, with this guy, his name was Angel Kalo, I think that was his last name. And him and a bunch of people who I don't remember wouldn't let me leave the store. And I think I was there for a long time. It may have been an hour. And I'm very, he was a short guy. But I wasn't, in public I wasn't violent, it was violent, I guess freeze, fight, freeze, fawn, or flight. I couldn't flee. So eventually what happened is I got fed up, I had my nails, and I started scratching people. And that ended that. And that was very, it's happened on several occasions with people. I would hang out, and then I'd eventually get very angry, and then I'd get violent uncontrollably. That's happened many times. and obviously it's because, feeling overwhelmed, feeling threatened, feeling, it's not like I go up to people and starting fights, And so that was a big changing point at home. I'm gonna write something else down for next time. Oh. Okay, what else do I have to say for this video? I wish I could kind of section the video off into parts with timestamps. Right now, just scrub. Okay, so I mentioned the angel part, losing the dollar for the forward newspaper, broken my mother's arms. My mom was diabetic, had a stroke when she had me. She was mentally a 6-year-old. Father was in the Holocaust. Oh, my molestation. Not by my father. My father was violent. He was at the same time protecting me. I should go into that later. He would protect me in public. But at the same time, he would beat the shit out of me at home and control me, So it was a lot of mixed messages. Yeah, I think that's where I'm going to stop here. I won't go into the Scoutmaster thing yet. I won't go into the camp incident, but it has to do with, my father. And I don't remember the actual incidents anymore, but sometimes you keep memories and you reenact them, and there's certain key points that stick with you for a while. But that's it. If you made it through this video, congratulations. Tomorrow, hopefully I'll be able to do the second video. So I'm just going to write here, thumbnail, and then video number 2 of my history. And that's that. Leave me some comments. Leave me some comments. All right.